Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Casey Travels and I create content about traveling. So basically I'm on a mission to travel to all parts of Zambia and eventually the world. So now today I'm not doing travel videos or I'm not traveling, but basically today what I want to show you guys is how to get a driving license. How to get a driving license in Zambia. So a driving license is a very important document that you need if you are going to be driving or you're going to be riding a motorcycle on the road. And it's a document that authorizes you to say this person is fit to travel on the road, and you get cleared. So without wasting much of your time, I want to dive deep in terms of how you can get a driving license. And trust me, if you know how to drive or you know how to ride, you definitely don't need to go to a driving school for you to get a driving license. Just follow the simple steps, simple process, and everything will be done in no time. Definitely you don't need to go to a driving school for you to get a driving license. I see most people go to driving schools to get driving license, but that shouldn't be the case. So now, without wasting much of your time, let's jump into the video in terms of how to get a driving license in Zambia. So a driving license, the first step that you need to take if you want to get a driving license in Zambia is, first of all, you need to visit the Road Transport and Safety Agency, RTSA, and you need to go and get the medical forms. That's the first stage that you need to take. So you need to go to RTSA, you get the medical forms, and then from the medical forms you go to a regulated health facility or hospital where you can do the medicals from. Getting a medical form from RTSA is free. You don't have to pay anything. So you just go there and say, I want a medical form, and they'll give you the RTSA medical form. And then once you get the medical form, you go to a hospital or a clinic or any authorized health facility where they do medicals from. So you just tell them, I'm here to do medicals for RTSA. You need to specify, you need to do medicals for RTSA. And then from there, they're going to do the medicals. So basically what they usually do is they're just going to test your eyes just to see if you can, if you are fit, you don't have any disabilities or health conditions. And then from there, paying for these medicals costs between 70 to 150 depending on the facility where you're getting it from. So once you get the medicals, they're going to stamp it and you're going to be given the should be medical certificate itself together with the RTSA document. And you now need to go and take to RTSA. So when you're going to take to RTSA again, at this particular point, it's all free. You don't have to pay anything. So what you need to take is the medical documents that you got from the hospital that has been stamped and signed. Then you also need to attach your NRC, and then you go to RTSA and say, I want to book for a theory test. So booking for a theory test is the second step that you need to take if you want to get a driving license from RTSA in Zambia. So once you get the medicals, the hospital, everything is done, you now go and book for a theory test. So the tests, basically, it's not necessarily theory, but there is also oral as well, where I just asked if maybe you're unable to write or anything like that. So for the theory test, basically here, this is where you basically are going to be tested. And what they usually test about is they're going to test you if you've got knowledge on the road signs. So you probably do, I think, approximately about, you need to answer about 30 of the road signs. So you do the road signs, you're going to be asked questions about it. Then you also be asked questions about just general information, just to test your understanding and thinking. And they are going to test you on the 10 basic rules. So the criteria to pass for this particular phase is you need to get at least 50% in each section. So you're going to be given 3 sections. So the first section is basically the road signs, and the road signs basically look like this. Most of them, the road signs. And then it's going to the section B is going to be about general knowledge, just to test your understanding. They'll just ask you general knowledge questions. And then thirdly, they're going to ask you to state the 10 basic rules. And then from there, once you pass, you'll now be given a provision, and for this provision you need to make payment of 114 kwacha. At least that's how much I paid myself. You're going to be given a provisional license. So you need to ensure that you know the traffic handbook, and I'm going to attach the download link where you can download the traffic handbook, or you can just search on Google, say traffic handbook by RTSA, and everything will pull up, where the signs are there, the 10 basic rules are there, and then the rest is just general knowledge. So once you pass the theory test, you'll be given the provisional license. So provisional license is valid for 90 days, which is 3 months. So once you get that provisional license, it does not mean that you can drive on the road with it or ride the motorcycle with it. No, a provisional license just states that, okay, this person, you are competent enough, and if you want to be driving on the road, you need to move with someone who already has a driving license. You can't drive alone. So you can be on the driver's seat, you're the one driving, but you need to have a supervisor with you, someone who already has a valid driver's license. Otherwise, a provisional license does not mean you can move about anywhere. No, it's not like that. And then from getting the provisional license, so you make the first payment of 114, and they're going to print out the provisional license. And then for the provisional license, you need to wait for 7 days before you can book for the practical test, which is the third step that you need to take. So the third step is basically booking for the practical test. So here you need to go with a provisional license, and you need to go and make payment to say, I'm here to book for practical tests, and you're going to pay, I think, 90 kwacha. Then once you pay, they're going to tell you either if you're going to do it that same day, or they're going to schedule it there for you and say, okay, you should come on this particular day to do your test. So if you are not coming from a driving school, it's always best that you go with the vehicle that you use. So if you use a motorcycle, it's always best that you go with the motorcycle that you are already used with, so that you do the practicals with that one, together with the vehicle with that one. Or alternatively, there are a lot of people that rent out vehicles at RTSA based on which office or branch you are at. You can make payment and you can use that to just do the test. So for the tests, when it comes to the motorcycles, for the motorbikes, if you are getting a license for a motorbike, which is class A, you just pass through the cones, and you'll be asked to make, I think, 8 based on the instructor or who's there at that particular moment. You can be asked to do certain points, or you can be asked to pass through what, but usually you're going to make an 8. And how you make an 8 is very easy, and I'm going to it's like this. You just pass through and then you make a circle and O. And then once you pass those cones, if you're doing for a motorcycle, you won't be required to do the tests on the road, on the actual road. You won't be required to do that. You'll be given a license directly from there. But however, if you are doing for a vehicle, let's say class B, which is a car, maybe you want to be driving a Vitz or a Corolla or any of these cars, class B, class C, or anything, you'll be required, once you pass the contest where you need to pass through the cones, you'll be required now to go on the road itself to now test you as well. So with class B, how you pass through the cone basically is you make a T. So you go this way, you go that way, and you come back. For a motorcycle, you need to make 8, and then for class C, which is basically canter and O, class C1, I think so, you need to make an L, and then if you're getting for a truck, it's just you need to pass through it O. And once you pass through the cones, if you are getting class B or for a motor vehicle, you now need to go on the road. On the road, basically, you're going to be tested just how good you are on the road, in terms of you balancing, in terms of you taking note of the road signs and where to stop, where not to stop. So you don't have to panic. You go with the instructor, RTSA person, and they're just going to be, recording what you are doing. And then from there, once you pass the test, you're going to be captured into the system, into the database, and now you'll be asked to go and make payment of about 145 to now get your actual license like this. So once you make payment now, you pass the test, you make payment, you will now be asked to wait. Depending on the branch you are at, others print it that very day, others print it maybe the following day, others are going to ask you to wait for a certain period for you to get your actual license. But in my case, once I passed the exams and all, I was just asked to go and collect the following day because the cards were done at that particular moment. So I went the following day to get it, and that's how I got my license. It's very easy. You don't have to go to a driving school, and you won't have to pay much. So the only thing that you get to pay is for the provisional license, it's 114. Booking fee is 90 kwacha, and lastly, printing out of the license 145. So you roughly spend less than a 500 kwacha to do it yourself. And yeah, adding the medical, which costs about 70 kwacha, others 150, depending on the institution you are at. So basically, that's how you need to get a license in Zambia. It's very easy, nothing complicated. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys have got any questions or comments, please feel free to just drop them in the comment section below, and I'll be able to respond to each and every question that you may have. And hopefully in the next video I can, you know, go through the questions that you asked during the theory testing. But yeah, this is Casey Travels. Please guys, remember to like this video if you found it useful and interesting, and remember to subscribe to my channel and keep on supporting the work that we are doing here. And thank you very much, and stay tuned. Cheers.